it's Yolandi from Goodnight. And today I have the privilege, with my assistant Bella, to show you and demonstrate the 5 S's for newborn babies. Before we start with the demonstration, I just want to make sure that you know, not all babies need all 5 the S's. Some only need 1. They feed, and they're quiet and content, and they fall asleep. Other babies need a little bit more help, especially colicky babies that are very upset, very crampy. They might need all the 5 S's to be able to soothe and calm themselves. They don't have the ability to do it on their own, so we do need to help them. So don't worry too much about creating bad habits. The other thing to keep in mind with the 5 S's is that newborn babies are very immature and they take time to process what you're doing. So don't give up just after 5 seconds. Try for up to 10 minutes the same technique before you change your method, because it does take a while for them to process and calm. So let's get to it, the 5 S's. So the very first S is swaddling. Lots of parents mistakenly think that their children do not like to be swaddled, or their babies don't like to be swaddled. And this is a very wrong idea. If your baby likes to be held, they like to be swaddled, because this is a giant flesh swaddle. We do recommend that initially you do swaddle your baby with their arms down. It does help to maintain the swaddle when you transfer them and put them down. Whereas when the arms are swaddled up, the chances of them getting out of the swaddle is a lot higher. So you do want it to be nice and firm and tight, but not too tight, so that when you put them down and pick them up, you can maintain that swaddle. Okay. The next is side stomach. Like you can see, always hold your baby with their stomach against your stomach. When they're on their back, they feel like they're falling. That's the Moro reflex that come into play. So like in the womb, they like to be secure, your stomach against their stomach when you're holding them. Do remember though that when you put them down for sleeping, that you always put them feet first and then their head, so that they don't feel like they're falling. And also always on their back. That's the safest way for the baby. Then, like I said, swaddle, side stomach. The next one is shushing. Shh, shh, shh. Shh, shh, shh. Really loudly. The blood running through your veins when they're in your belly is as loud as standing in a shower. So you do need to be loud when you're shushing. Shh, to cut out and filter out those sounds that can distract them. This can be quite tiring if you're doing all of the other S's. So you can put something like a radio that's on static in the background, relatively loud, or even an app to help them to filter out the background noise and create those white noise. The white noise should be on throughout the nap or throughout the night. Okay. The next is swaying, and I've already kind of started doing that. Each mom has their own rhythm from baby being in the belly. So they do like to be rocked to sleep, and you can completely rock them to sleep as newborns. And they like the swaying rhythmic movement. Once again, it takes time for them to process what you're doing. So don't be doing this and this and this every 2 seconds. Then they don't have the time to process. So make sure to always like rhythmically in the same position for some time to get them in that feeling. The last is to seal the deal is, of course, suckling. This can be created either through a dummy, but don't be distressed. Don't force the dummy on your baby. You can, give them the breast and the bottle. That's also great sucking, and that's to seal the deal. Once again, once they're down, you want to put them feet first and then their head. Give them time to transfer to process the transfer. Shh, 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 and let them drift off to sleep. Good night.